experience that Zinedine Zidane acquired over his playing career, now trying to prove a point in his managerial career. But when you've got him in your dugout, you look at him and you get the total respect. I would think all the players give him total respect of what he says, thinks and does.
He clearly found the performance from his team in the first half the other night pretty jarring. He said we can't have this result happening again.
Ever so well. I think he's had a couple of decent seasons, hasn't he, under 21 level. He really has progressed and probably needs this opportunity and seems to be taking it at this moment in time. And of course, you never know what will happen with injuries and one or two problems in sending off and things like that where players miss games. But you know, he certainly has made himself a part of this pre-season tournament, and he's done very well. Looked very, very solid. And of course, having the pace that he's got, you know, if there is the odd mistake that he's going to make, and being young, that happens, he can recover so quickly. But he's good on both sides, both feet. He can play right across the back four. So bright future, we hope.
A big test for him today. It's not quite Aldershot, let's put it that way. There he is on the ball, ain't it? And Nemanja Matic, pleased to hear the words of praise that he had from Antonio Conte. So it gave him a boost. Another Chelsea free kick here. This time Traore, the man, brought to ground. Yeah,
interesting to see where Bertrand Traore will play. I mean, as we saw against Liverpool the other day, it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek who probably played as the centre forward more often than not, with the pace of Bertrand coming through from deep, which is something which maybe Antonio Conte's been working on, you know, which is great, because we know Bertrand is probably more of a significant goal scorer than Ruben, taking nothing away from Ruben, of course, but the statistics say that Bertrand will get more goals. But you know, if he's coming from deep, he's very difficult to mark.
Is Willian going to have a go here, I wonder? Floated it in, looking for Terry, who's all alone, and Matic might stab it in. Real Madrid were all at 6s and 7s at the back there, just like they were against PSG the other night. This time, though, it didn't cost them a goal.
Yeah, I think when you're in the mess that you're in at the back, it's going to look shabby, but what a delivery this is from Willian as well. Take nothing away from the ball in, and we saw that so many times last season, whether he was going for goal or just delivering.
Loftus-Cheek's been a good opening couple of minutes from Chelsea. Real Madrid have hardly got out their own half. See the ball running pretty truly over the surface there from Terry's back pass to Begovic. Loftus-Cheek this time penalised right into the referee's nose. Casemiro made sure he got the free kick.
Yeah, it wasn't very difficult though, was it? I mean, Casemiro's backing into Ruben, and Ruben almost puts his hands up to say, don't back into me, but the referee then sees the hands in the back and he goes to ground.
One by Terry ahead of Mariano. It's Azpilicueta. Oscar getting the chance to play in the middle of midfield, as we suggested maybe might be a good place for him on a couple of occasions.
Yep, we talked about that on the last couple of seasons, that maybe that's a position that he could be playing a bit more often. You know, it might be different now with N'Golo Kante coming in, and of course there's Fabregas who's not available today, so there's a tough position to be playing. Matic as well seems to be well liked by the manager, so there'll be players fighting for that position, and I just think Oscar could, if his mind was in the right frame, could take this position by storm.
John McKelvey, maybe even Nathaniel Chalobah and Ruben Loftus-Cheek to that list of central midfielders that Chelsea are blessed with at the moment. First real attack from Madrid here. Oh, it was just a little bit too high, the header from Matic, and Begovic had to pull off a decent save to prevent an embarrassing own goal. It's just a corner.
Yeah, I think this is a simple one for Matic, to be honest, and he's made it difficult. I think this is a chest ball. But I think that's got to be communication between Begovic and him. He's got to come, if he comes for the ball though, Begovic, it's probably going over his head, so it would have been a mistake. I think communication would have resolved it quite easily.
Azpilicueta able to head clear Marcelo's cross. Here's Kovacevic. Now Asensio. Shot driven in from range, took a deflection, it kept low, and it was straight down the throat of Begovic.
Yeah, bang on target, decent enough strike, wasn't it? You have to say that Begovic would think that would be quite comfortable for him to take that.
Conceded all the goals in the first half against PSG on Wednesday. Did Madrid, so I'm sure defensive shape and stability is something they've been working on. Off his cheeks touch. Good point across field from Azpilicueta. Williams quick, but he's not quick enough on this occasion.
It was unlucky, wasn't it? Because most of the Real Madrid backline got dragged all the way over to the right-hand side. And we know Williams wasn't quite quick enough for that one, but good effort. Nice to see us changing the style from time to time.
Oscar. Two players in close attendance, and he couldn't wriggle free of them. That's the first involvement really for Alvaro Morata. The kick for the foul on Mariano. He's one of the players who plays for the Castilla, the B team.
Well, we talked about Oscar playing that deeper role. Sometimes he's got to be careful on the ball there. He's just two players around him, really needed to offload a little bit quicker, but he's also gone a little bit too advanced for me. If he sits back another 5 yards, he sees a target in front of him and he can play it a lot simpler.
Referee pretty quick on his whistle.
I think Morata went down a bit easy there for me. And again, against someone like Olarena, very inexperienced, you know, these are the things that Ola's got to learn, and I'm sure he will.
So Lucas Vazquez is the favourite to strike this free kick. Two-man wall in place, trying to repel it. There's Vazquez, good shape on it as well. Good header out by John Terry. Pedro trying to get it further to safety. Marcelo going all the way back to Casilla.
Tell you what, Matt, we can't underestimate the importance, and we talk about him, and we have done for 10 or more years. But that header's a great header, absolutely brilliant. That's what you want from your central defenders. And how many times can we guarantee that John Terry will make that header? 99 out of 100. And when he's not there, we don't win those headers, we get ourselves in all sorts of problems.
I just wonder if he might have another season like the one before last. Because Antonio Conte is such a good defensive organiser, he might flourish under him. He might be able to have another Indian summer, if you like.
Well, for me, over the last few seasons, we haven't seen any signs. You know, we can all talk about his age, we can all talk about his lack of legs and pace, which he's never had anyway, but he's not shown the signs for me where he's been isolated, he's been caught out, and he's always been able to communicate with everybody, especially his back four, especially his goalkeeper. And if you're communicating with them, they'll give you all the help you need when you might be in a little bit of trouble. And that'll happen from time to time, but for me, still one of the best defenders in the Premier League.
Swished upfield by Begovic. Huge distance on it. Header dropped nicely for Pedro. Could be an opening here. Bertrand Traoré taking the shot early, which is something we usually applaud. Not sure he was quite set to really test Casilla there.
No, I'm not sure Bertrand's opportunity. I think he's trying to clip this over the top of Casilla, to be honest. I think if he goes for power, I think he stands a better chance. However, nice to see him taking the shot on nice and early.
There's Rafael Varane, who had to sit out the European Championships because of injury. He and Kurt Zouma might have been France's first choice partnership, actually, had they both been available. And Marcelo, the captain's armband in the absence of others. Sergio Ramos was amongst the Madrid substitutes, by the way, but no definitive word on whether he'll feature in this match from Zidane. Nice play from Oscar. Here's Pedro. Handed out by 3. After on the turn, looking to feed Mariano.
It's a nice, lovely buzz about the game, Matt, isn't it? Okay, I know it is a pre-season friendly, but as I said before, players are starting to try and prove that they want to start a starting position in the first game. So there is more of a buzz. We're moving the ball a lot quicker now than we were in the earlier couple of games. But again, it's Real Madrid, you know. It's a big fixture. Whether it's pre-season, whether you're ready, whether you're fit enough, then you don't want to lose. And you can see that from all the players at the moment from both teams.
Matic. Really have much movement from Traore, ended up losing possession.
He just needed a little bit of width, didn't he? I just wonder if Olorena could have given him a bit of width. Again, that will come in time when he gets used to it.
Matic offloading. Senio giving it him back. Here's the Croat Kovacic. No foul. Loftus-Cheek. Good tackle to win it back for Real. Good tackle too from Traore on Marcelo. And then a little kick out from Asensio on Aina, which will bring the free kick Chelsea's way.
Interesting refereeing, very good in my opinion. Although Oscar initially has dived in to win the ball, the referee was close to hand and felt the initial challenge was a fair one. Felt he got a little bit on the football. And I tend to agree with him, but it started a spate of 2 or 3 challenges, and sometimes then you hear the voices of the crowd getting involved as well. They want free kicks, and the referee just played on. Excellent.
Pedro. So you might have noticed in the game against Liverpool, he's taken the number 11 shirt. Traore, good strength. Chelsea have had the better of the opening 11.5 minutes, one would say. And the goalkeeper has to do anything serious yet. Closest will come to a goal was Matic header, which almost beat Begovic. Here is Matic. Now Traore. Such a worry for any defender because of his pace. He's used the ball well there to find Pedro. Can he keep his balance? He could do that, but he couldn't keep the ball in.
That's unlucky. Great play by Bertrand Traore. Really does well. He runs into the channel, finds a little bit of space, good turn. He sees the opportunity to play the ball wide to Pedro, and he does that. And what he does, he gives it to Pedro and gets in the box, and I like that. He's looking to attack the penalty area. Pedro does his thing. On this occasion, it doesn't work, but it's good attacking play.
Good pre-season so far, Bertrand Traore. Scored against Pellets. His goals last season came in a burst, 4 in the space of 5 appearances between January and March. This is Nacho for Real Madrid in the centre-half. Somebody's come through their academy system. This is this man Asensio. There's Traore. Let's go. It's an interesting battle between Marcelo and Willian, the 2 Brazilians, down that right side as Chelsea look at it. Willian hasn't had too many opportunities to run at him yet. Begovic has had to come a long way from home here. Dealt with that really well first time, no messing.
Good reading of the game by Begovic. That could have been a difficult one. And he's really stepped out of his area and just made a huge decision there. I would think both centre-backs there looked over their shoulders and said, well done. Pat on the back for the goalkeeper, because they were caught out.
Before he got in the way of the pass, but it was only going to reach Matic anyway, I think. Here's Loftus-Cheek. Now the lively Traore. Good for Marcelo. Just got under pressure from Mariano, but he was able to keep it. Just about to say, Chelsea knocking it about nicely. Commentators curse.
Yeah, and again, it's a bit sloppy, as we know. Ruben playing a little bit higher up the park. You know, Ruben's got to get used to that if he's going to be playing that way, and that's a little bit sloppy, and he'll know that.
Not too many empty seats around the stadium, so it could be a sellout. It could be the record attendance here, which was set by Real Madrid when they played Manchester United in that game I mentioned earlier a couple of years ago. Just over 107,000 is the official capacity.
It's a naughty little challenge as well there by Nacho from Bertrand Traoré, and you must admit Traoré's looked lively in these opening 14-15 minutes. I think Nacho just realising that he's got to make his mark, as it were, on the halfway line, and he puts his foot in. So referee on another day may have given a yellow card, but
what I was going to say is Nacho there maybe thinking I can be stronger in my challenge than I normally would because I'm less likely to get booked.
Well, if it was the referee that refereed the game against Liverpool the other night, I don't think he can take that chance. I think that may have been a yellow card had it been that referee. But yeah, you get used to the referee in your particular game, and maybe Nacho was thinking, well, I'll take a chance here, and he's got away with it, to be fair, but I don't think he can do it again.
And he's on the ball once more. So flipping one down the line, but it bounced awkwardly off Morata. Still to make his official first-team debut for Chelsea. So we don't know who is going to be going out on loan yet. A couple of deals have been sorted, but it's going to be interesting to see whether Aina is one of those or whether he is kept around as part of the squad. There's not a huge amount of cover in the full-back positions. No,
and I think what he's done pre-season so far might suggest he might have to be kept at home, you know, rather than go away. But it's a difficult one. It's a balancing act for the club and for the player. You know, is it time for him to go on loan, having had a couple of decent seasons, improved as well? There's a problem for Azpilicueta here.
And the referee's got a decision to make. So it's last warning. Played 90 minutes against Liverpool, says Azpilicueta. He only played 10 minutes for Spain in the Euros.
Well, the good thing with Azpilicueta, of course, we can play him at either right or left back. He's proved as good as world class at both positions, so if there is a problem, you know, he can switch sides with Ivanovic as well to come back. But Ola has certainly given himself an opportunity, you feel. If not playing, you know, other managers will have watched him play and thought, well, yeah, we could take him on loan.
It's been a bit of trouble there, but he did well. I'm sure whether he was asking the referee for some assistance or his teammates there. Trying to get round Marcelo. He's cut him off at source.
That's good work by Bertrand Traoré as well. Doing some defensive work. Very, very quick, of course. Being youthful, very enthusiastic, which is always good.
Terrific atmosphere inside the stadium. I hope that's coming through to you at home. It's the home of the Michigan Wolverines college American football team. And we're watching two of the best soccer teams in Europe. It's aimed at Mariano. Hasn't been totally cleared here. There's Marcelo. Away from Willian. He's going to hit it with his right. Oh, massive deflection. 1-0 Real Madrid. Nothing Begovic could have done once it took the nick.
Yeah, you just feel totally against the run of play. We've been the better side by far, which would be more important for both managers, but when you get a little bit of luck, I often say if you don't shoot, you don't score, and he's taking it on his weaker right foot, not frightened to do that, of course. Raises the eyebrows there. You can understand that he's taken a huge deflection. Maybe you would argue the fact he shouldn't have got into that position. But once he gets there, takes the shot on, gets the deflection, nothing that Begovic could do. Maybe the argument for us was that we didn't close down quickly enough.
See the trajectory of the ball change as it flicked off Oscar's knee. Marcelo will be claiming it though. That's 2-2 for him. Got the penalty against PSG. First blood to Madrid, as I said, against the run of play. Traoré, no flag here. Ball slightly wide, does have Loftus-Cheek in support and Pedro arriving. Kovacic did enough.
Yeah, a little bit predictable, I thought, when he was on the ball there, Bertrand. He just got a little bit too close to the defender. Great run initially, down the channel, but they're a little bit predictable to go outside. I think he's got to make that movement a little bit quicker than he actually did, and then maybe just take the defender on for pace. And if you're being predictable, you've got to get the ball out of your feet. Unfortunately, it's a little bit tight to him, tries to check back, but good to see him attacking and trying to get inside the penalty area as well.
Varane, such a promising centre half. Kovacic. Marcelo, as you say, Clive, was allowed to wander just across the Chelsea penalty area. It's the sort of thing that wouldn't happen in a competitive game, I think. Avenel as well forward from from right back, just briefly there.
Done well, Pedro, though, hasn't he? Again, often the wide players are asked to do defensive jobs. As we know, Willian excellent at it on one side, and Pedro doing his job there as well.
Pedro, of course, with an extra motivation playing against Real Madrid as a former Barcelona man. Kovacic. This is Casemiro. Marcelo well forward again here. He's going to hit it with his right again. He's crossed it this time. It's a good ball to the back post as well. And Azpilicueta manages to knock it off Asensio and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just finding it too easy at the moment, Marcelo, isn't he? We've seen the shot already, that ball in. He really should have been closed down a little bit better, and maybe Olarena's now being tested, which is what he wants in a pre-season friendly. But getting exploited a little bit as well, so might need a little help, a pat on the back, a little bit of guidance, just to maybe thwart Marcelo a little bit more. But the goals rocked us a little bit as well. I think Real Madrid had taken a little bit more control, often happens. I thought we were in the ascendancy before the goal, but unfortunately, just changed things and turned everything around.
I wonder what Zidane's plans are in terms of substitutions for this game. Be surprised if he made 11 at half-time as he did on Wednesday. I think the referee is going to start showing cards before too long. It's been quite a spicy game in terms of the tackles that have been flying in the first half of the first half.
Well, he just lunged in a little bit there, Gary Cahill, didn't he? Didn't make any contact on the ball. And when Vasquez goes to ground, I don't think there's a great deal wrong with him, but by making that huge step, that huge lunge as he did, Gary, he's not quite on his toes, and I think you miss time tackles like that. But this will improve as this is what the pre-season games are for. Those little things that you don't quite get right now, you want to get right when the season starts.
Well, Lucas Vasquez with 17 on his back, one of the players interested in this. And the two-man wall comprises Traoré and Willian. Left-footed from Asensio this time, in a really good save from Asmir Begovic to prevent Real Madrid doubling their lead.
Brilliant save, but our organisation needs to be better. It's a super ball in, but it's one we should have dealt with a little bit better. Thankfully, Asensio's header's not a good one. It's straight at Begovic, and I would expect him to make that save, but either corner, and he hasn't got a chance.
Second corner of the game for Madrid. Put back in by Kovacic. And Marcelo again, well, he's got his eye in now, he fancies it.
Well, decent enough strike, wasn't it? Just fading away from the far post, but as always, frightened to take shots on Marcelo, as we've seen many times in the past. Just having a bit of a period now, aren't they, Real Madrid, where they're looking a lot more dangerous than they were in the opening 15 minutes or so. And now it's a period for us to get reorganised, defend a little bit better, and maybe work our way up the field.
As Cahill, match winner against Liverpool. Terry looking to inject a bit of calm into proceedings. Looking for the run of Traoré. Flag has gone up this time.
A tight call, but with Bertrand's pace, he's going to get in there more often than not. Seen that ball a couple of times now, where players are getting the ball rolled in field to them and they clip it over the top first time. it's not always a question they're looking for it, and that is a tight call, but I think it's definitely half a yard offside. I think with Bertram's pace, and we said earlier on, running from a little bit deeper, hopefully he'll stay on side a little bit more often. He's going to get on the end of things.
It'll have to be more of a counter-attacking style that will bring Chelsea some reward here, with Madrid on top at the moment. Once again, these two taking part in the International Champions Cup, which gets bigger every year. It started off solely being contested here in the United States. It's now in Europe and China and Australia too. All the big hitters of European football involved. Matic under pressure. Here's Cahill. Oh, look how quickly he was closed down. Marcelo's pinched it back again. It's having a really good first half, the Madrid left-back. He's wandering forward once more too. He's going to go all the way here. What a sensational goal. Marcelo from left-back with his second of the match. It's Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 0.
Well, not only does he look good, Marcelo, but he's got some top quality, hasn't he? That's a superb goal. I mean, give him his credit. Strong, powerful, good 1-2. And then he had that drive to get into the penalty area. And to be fair to Olorena, he's unlucky, but you know, when you're talking about a top quality player like this, look at that opportunity for him to run through. You can't bring him down, you can't make a challenge because it's going to be a penalty. So you've got to rely on maybe the goalkeeper or Marcelo losing control, but he doesn't do that. He keeps his strength, keeps his balance, and gets the shot away. No chance of Begovic. Unfortunately, we find ourselves 2 goals down.
Got 2 goals in the whole of last season for Marcelo. 2 in 7 minutes here. Well, Chelsea will surely need to score the next goal of this match if they're going to avoid defeat in it. I certainly think that the Real Madrid players were chastened somewhat by that first half performance against PSG on Wednesday, and the criticism from their manager which came as a result of it. It maybe added a little extra motivation for them going into this one.
It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? I thought in the early stages we were in control, but they've had that huge lift from scoring their first goal, of course. When you get an individual goal like that from Marcelo, very difficult.
Looking for the 1-2 here. Struck Traore's arm.
Yeah.
Marcelo for the hat-trick.
He's going to get a yellow card for this. Whether this is intentional, not too sure. He's suggesting it isn't. Just a natural running position, I think he would probably have said. As you said, Matt, I don't think we can afford to go 3 down.
Just a 5 over the free kick. I wonder if Marcelo will say, I've got the captain's eye back time on the hat-trick. So it might be Casemiro, number 14. Casemiro, hands on hips, looks the more purposeful of the players left over the ball. Asensio and Kovacic also in the vicinity. Here's Casemiro. It's another good save from Begovic, who's just about keeping Chelsea in this.
It's a good save, this one. He's had to keep his eye on the ball all the way through. I think he's seen it clearly. Yeah, you see him, definitely sees that clearly, but he reacts well. See the puffing of the cheeks of Gary Cahill. He knows that's come past him at pace. He knows it's on target without looking. But a good save by Begovic.
Work short this time. Good ball in again. That's a good volley on the follow-up into the Chelsea supporters behind Begovic's goal.
Poor finish in the end, but good clearance, good headed clearance as well. But got it out of the danger area initially. Decent ball in as well. Just on the rack a little bit, you feel, Matt. I think we just need to clear our heads. And maybe just get a bit of passing going. Don't need to panic at any stage. Of course, pre-season friendlies, the score doesn't matter. It's all about your own performance and the team's. And you don't going to score goals, just perform well, work hard.
From Terry again, and from Traoré. That's almost managed to pinch it from Matic. Garcia in the Real Madrid goal still hasn't had much to do. There's a decision for the referee that time, Pedro on Marcelo.
And obviously Pedro trying to put a bit of pressure on Marcelo. Maybe he feels he's had an easy run of it, but charging at him that quick, just quick feet by Marcelo, it's easy to get away.
Around 2 goals in a 7-minute burst from Marcelo have got Real Madrid in pole position here.
One of the disappointments for me at the moment, Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing that position, whether he actually understands it at the moment or not. He's just not had a touch. The game has totally passed him by. I wouldn't have thought he's had more than 3 or 4 touches in the whole of the opening 30 minutes. And that would be disappointing for him. He'll be frustrated by that. And he'll want to know the reasons why. And hopefully Antonio Conte can tell him at half-time.
How often have we seen the knock-on effect of that for somebody playing up front is that they drop deeper and deeper and then it affects the shape of the team.
Yeah, and it's soul-destroying for him as well.
He's been pretty peripheral as well. Well, plenty of quality, certainly on the Chelsea bench. There's a bit on the Madrid one too. Sure, most of the substitutions have been pre-planned for both sides. And Chelsea still with AC Milan to play here in America. It is Wednesday night US time, just gone 2:30 in the morning UK time. And then Werder Bremen a week tomorrow is the final warm-up before West Ham. Real have got one more game in this competition against Bayern Munich next week, and then they've got the Super Cup against Sevilla to come on the 9th of August. The Liga doesn't start till the 21st, so a week after the Premier League. Here's Pedro. He and Willian have just swapped flanks for the moment. Matic. So white shirts back behind the ball. Difficult for Chelsea to find a way through them. Well, if the street gets a feel of the ball, can't Willian do well initially at least. And it looked like he got an elbow to the face, unintentional perhaps, but the referee happy for play to go on even though the Chelsea man's down. And that will be a foul and a yellow card for Pedro for tripping Asensio.
Yeah, I don't think he can really complain, to be honest, Pedro. He was never getting there, was he? Maybe he should have bided his time. He is quick and he was coming back to help out. Maybe dived in a bit too early for me. Never really going to win the ball from that position. Whether there was any contact, looking at it again, I don't think there was, to be honest. I think that's what Pedro was wagging his finger at. But for the position we're looking at it looked like a yellow card.
Celebrated his 29th birthday on Thursday, Pedro. It's not the kind of card that he wanted for it. Begovic has been Chelsea's star man so far today. Is he going to be tested here once more, I wonder?
Well, it's a very high line. There seems a lot of space between Begovic and our back line here.
Vasquez flips it in all the way round the back. No challenge whatsoever. That had gone up.
Well, we looked at 6s and 7s. I'm not sure about whether we're quite right at the moment. We are quite high with our line. And I just wonder about Begovic's position after that. You know, it's something we've got to work on. I think Begovic is a little bit too deep here. And I'm not sure that's actually offside either. Gary Cahill staying in there, but it's something we've got to work on, and it will come.
That's what these games are for. I mentioned at the start that the first game certainly is all about fitness, isn't it? But now it does come more down to fine-tuning the tactics of the team.
Absolutely, it's the technical side of it now. You know, these guys are fit enough to probably to start against West Ham. They're probably up to speed. I'm sure they'd like to tweak it a little bit more fitness-wise, but essentially they'd be there. But it's all the other bits that fit into place. And free kicks and dead ball situations are so important, and we do need to get those right. It doesn't hurt if the opposition in these pre-season friendlies get free kicks or corners, but what we need to do is be able to react from them.
Vasquez just couldn't quite steer it into the path of Carvajal there. Luckily for Chelsea, here's Matic.
There's a learning curve there. Matic doesn't need to run with the ball from that position.
Morata in the middle, trying to finish it off and cross it himself. Just under 10 minutes of the first half to go. Chelsea could do with a break just to clear their heads. Of course, Madrid, as I said, have had an extra 24 hours rest. And also, Chelsea played a significant portion of the second half against Liverpool with 10 men. And as we know, Antonio Conte's training sessions, well, they get you fit, let's put it that way. Should be a massive benefit from the latter stages of the upcoming season. That means that there will be a few blowing hard today. Oh, it's another terrific goal. From 30 yards, dumped beyond Begovic, and Real Madrid have surely put the game to bed through Mariano.
Well, what can you say? What a strike. A lot of movement in the ball. I think initially when you see the shot coming in, I think if you're a defender looking at this, you would expect Begovic perhaps to do a little bit better. However, you know, with the way these players strike these balls these days, there is a lot of movement, and it is very difficult when it's a powerfully struck shot, as this one is. Well worked, decent enough strike. And we're seeing it from behind the goal here. There is movement. And although Begovic has made some super saves in this first half, I think you expect him to make some better fist of this one and get a little bit closer to the ball. Good strike though.
Great dip on it. Marcelo turned provider that time. Mariano, who usually plays for the Castilla team, has got a moment to remember with a goal in front of 100,000 plus in Michigan.
Oh, we just lost our way, haven't we? Give the first goal has gone to them with a deflection and given them a bit of luck. There's that ball in behind again.
Matic that was, curling one out to Loftus-Cheek. Willian there to be hit, so Willian did. Still no test for Casilla there.
Always rising, wasn't it? But we like to see Willian doing that. We know he's got the ability. It doesn't hurt to practice those sort of opportunities and raise the tempo a little bit from the Chelsea perspective as well.
Well, there'll be a few people who won't remember this game next week. You'll remember it in 50 years' time, Mariano Diaz.
That's a good strike. He's got good contact on the ball, hasn't he?
So if we dig into our book of cliches, is Antonio Conte going to be saying, go and try and win the second half, or is that not even in his thinking, given that it's a friendly?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's about winning the second half. I think it's about getting some belief into the players, because at the moment, since the first goal's gone in, we've not passed and we've not played anywhere near like we did prior to that. And I think sometimes you're going to lose goals in unfortunate circumstances, like we did with the deflection. But you can't let your game drop because of it. And I think we've got to keep that level of play going. It's mentally tough and mentally something that I'm sure Antonio Conte will work on. But it's not about, in this particular fixture, it's not about winning the second half, scoring 4 goals and winning the game outright. It's more about being mentally stronger when the other team scores.
Better spell for Chelsea since the third goal went in. And get one back before half-time. With the cavalry going forward from defence. The That's a good delivery from William there. That's a lovely pass out to Pedro. Marcelo quick to him. Pedro felt illegally so after he disagreed. Good touch from Morata. That's allowed Pedro to get Chelsea back on the ball. Here's Asensio. Got to be careful, Pedro. He's been booked.
Yeah, he's running around like a headless chicken at the moment, and I think he's got into a couple of challenges here where he's slightly lost his head, which I don't think will please Antonio Conte, to be honest. He doesn't need to go in, well, perhaps as solidly, but does he win the ball? It's just his actions and his intention that I don't think the referee liked. The referee listened to John Terry there, I think, and doesn't give another yellow card. So let's give Pedro a chance to calm down.
Alternated it right back with Danilo, who's on the bench tonight throughout last season for Real Madrid. Up to Morata. That was a bit aimless. In terms of the result, but there's some hurt pride if the scoreline stays like this. Lots of Chelsea fans who don't get the chance to see the team very often having that opportunity today, and the boys will want to at least give them a goal to cheer. And out to Pedro. Seem to have had a bit more joy, those two, since they swapped flanks.
Yeah, a little bit better, isn't it? We've not had the possession that we had in the earlier stages of the game, though, so maybe that's a slightly disappointing for them, but they've looked a little bit better in there.
It's a good one from Matic. Traore held it up well, offloaded it to Pedro. Cahill's going to be the next recipient of a card. He got one against Liverpool. He's got one here too.
Well, again, just worry about sometimes Ola Reina here has just got into a position he probably shouldn't have gone for. If he'd have stepped out of that, he wouldn't have got the yellow card. I think Ola Reina going in, Gary Cahill's then had to bring him down because he's going into the position that Ola left, and unfortunately gets a yellow card.
Yellow card issued to Chelsea's number 24, Gary Cahill. Card issued in the 42nd minute.
Asensio. Happy to just knock the ball about amongst themselves with half-time just a couple of minutes away. Marcelo's got his eye on taking the ball home with him. All right, up until the 19th minute when the man taking the throw-in made it 1-0. Chelsea were just about having the better of things, but they've been very much second best since then.
Well, the worry wouldn't be the fact that Real Madrid, I don't think, having scored 3 goals, that won't be the biggest worry. The biggest worry that we've lost control of the game, lost possession, lost confidence, if you like. And quite a few players are, shall I say, totally out of the game. You know, they're just not involved in the position they're at their best.
Gone out, Madrid throw. Asensio. Just on loan at Espanyol last season. So he's been given a chance to do likewise here. He did actually make his debut for the full Spain team before Euro 2016, Asensio. The Euro 2016 warm-up against Bosnia, a game during which Pedro scored against Asmir Begovic. And there's Pedro. And 3 Chelsea players cautioned in the first half, which takes some doing in the friendly. before the whistle blows, maybe. I don't think we can call that a chance.
And obviously a shot like that really doesn't do him as Oscar. He looked a long way out. It looked very easy to read for the goalkeeper if he was a few yards off his line. With the half-time whistle just approaching though, Oscar felt justified to have a goal.
Marcelo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official has indicated 1 minute at a time to the first half. 1 minute.
One extra minute, which we're into now.
I've just got a feeling that the players, in a way, are looking forward to getting in. I know at half-time going 3 goals down in a normal fixture, you probably don't want to go in at half-time, you know what you're going to get. But I think today, they need to be in there. They need to sit down and listen to the manager. Maybe restructure things a little bit, maybe make a few changes as well. But I think it's probably a good time now for players to get in.
Varane. He's giving it away. Now Willian, Loftus-Cheek in support, and Traore. He's looking for Traore here. Flicked off his heel almost into Loftus-Cheek's path. And so able to bring it clear. Final opportunity for Madrid to add to their score. This is Morata. And he did well, didn't give him any space to get the shot away, and that is the last act of the first half, which has been dominated by that man, Marcelo, with 2 goals in a 7-minute spell, put Real Madrid in charge. And then Mariano having a thumper on 37 to mean that the Blues have got it all to do here in Michigan. Hasn't gone according to plan so far, to put it mildly, and half-time here to score. It's Chelsea now being 3-0 down. What will be the attitude of the respective teams in the second half, do you think, Clay?
Well, I think they've got to use this second half to bring the confidence back to the lads, to get their chins off their chests and make them feel like they're a competent side again. We lost our way totally, for me, in that first half, and it came after the first goal. Before that, we were arguably the better of the 2 sides. So the players are going to be feeling a bit down on their luck at the moment. And I think that's something that we've got to reinstall for this second half. But it's not always about scoring goals, it's about holding your own. It's being as good as Real Madrid, keeping the ball as well as them. You know, being nice and positive, making the right decisions. And I think if we can do that, we can come out of the game thinking, OK, we didn't play particularly well, we didn't maybe do the things that has been expected of us, but we've got that little bit of belief and a little bit of confidence back. Take it into the next game against AC Milan and see how it goes. You know, if we come out on top on that one, all of a sudden this game is dead and buried. But we need to just add that little bit of lift, a little bit of confidence.
Batshuayi is on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and then Nathaniel Chaloba has replaced Oscar. There's Danilo, who's come on to play right back. Contrao is not the player who he replaced because he's currently injured. And that doesn't seem there's been too many changes from Real Madrid. Would you, I suppose?
Again, we always must remember about fitness for players as well, you know, and getting the best out of them, as Antonio Conte will want to do all the time. But I think there are going to be players who are perhaps not playing particularly well, and they know that. But you have to play through it. Sometimes you have to get through it just to maintain your fitness and get it up to a level that we want come West Ham. Which, you know, fitness shouldn't be too far away, but add everything in. So some of these players might stay a little bit longer than perhaps their poor performance suggests.
Of the Chelsea changes, by the way, at half-time, as expected, Thibaut Courtois has come on in goal. And Juan Cuadrado is also on. He's replaced Willian on the far side, the right. Here's Bertrand Traore. Now Pedro, be careful, he's one of 3 players on the yellow card. Volleyed away by 2-goal Marcelo. Zena still out there, wrestling with Morata and beating him. Cuadrado's first involvement. Pedro.
I just feel this is what Chelsea needed, a little bit of possession, especially in the opponent's half. It's always good to play in the final third if you can. Everybody seems to be getting a touch.
Traore going from range. And, likely to threaten Casilla, who is still in the Madrid goal.
I'm not sure if that was a shot or not from Burton. I think he got in the sort of cross minds there, whether to shoot or to pass. He got it totally wrong on this occasion, but the passing was better.
Here is Varane. We are borrowing the graphics from our American broadcast friends. You might have seen there that they think that Keylor Navas played the first half for Real Madrid in goal. Truth, it could have been pretty much anybody, but it was Kiko Casilla, who's still there now. What the target will be for Zidane and Madrid next season. Playing their 11th Champions League European Cup. They need to put some pressure on Barcelona in the Liga title race. Not been champions since 2012. They're only a point behind last year, mind you. And there is a man with a big season ahead of him. He's just had a very good one, winning Serie A at Juventus. But if he is going to stay in England, he needs to impact the Premier League a bit more than he did last time, although in fairness to him, he only started a handful of games. Really somebody that Antonio Conte rates, though, Juan Cuadrado.
Well, he obviously knows him well, and that's always a good thing. You know, once the manager knows you, and if he likes you, it gives you the confidence to go and play. Arguably, Cuadrado could feature at some stage this season. I think we're playing enough games. I'm not too sure at the moment. Obviously, it's down to him to impress.
Batshuayi, with the substitutes. Here's another Chalobah, and it's interesting how much of him we've seen in pre-season so far. He's done well to rectify his own mistake there, and Traore's won a free kick.
I think he's unlucky here, but it's a good little turn, and certainly was a foul, and I think if he gets it half a yard away here, he's off and running. You can see the turn again. It's a foul all day long.
Cuadrado fancies hitting this himself.
And to be honest, 5 minutes into the second half, love to see this for the back of the net. Give everybody a lift, and that's what we need.
Not much of a wall being offered. It's a fair distance from goal. Here he comes. Juan Cuadrado through the wall, over the crossbar there.
He got good power, didn't he? The goalkeeper had it covered. He was expecting it to go wide as soon as Cuadrado struck it, but good power. In many ways, you feel when you strike a ball like that, at least he's had a go.
It's a busy summer. Juan Cuadrado helped Colombia finish third in the Copa America, which was played here in the USA. Here's Varane.
Yeah, we're just a little bit deep for me. I think if we were going to take this game a little bit more to Real Madrid, we would have squeezed up a little bit more.
Cuadrado, nice skill. And the free kick from Marcelo too.
I read the situation well, didn't he? Just got his body in the way as Marcelo was trying to get back into position. Any contact, it's a free kick.
Cahill. It's been a point up looking early for Batshuayi. It's another Chelsea free kick. Taken quickly by Matic. Clever piece of quick thinking.
Unlucky.
Didn't quite bludgeon his way through.
It's unlucky, that's better. They're trying to move the ball a little bit quicker. Batshuayi has made a big difference already, Matt, for me.
He's done well there, finding Cuadrado. Try the edge of the box, it's come to Matic instead. Touch was heavy, offloaded it to Batshuayi. Good save from Casilla, who at last has got his gloves dirty at least.
Well, again, you expect the goalkeeper to make this save, but the movement was good. The reaction from the players has been excellent. That's why he does well here to find a bit of space to get the shot away. Not the greatest of power because it's very, very tight. Reasonably comfortable for the goalkeeper, but much better.
Good strike. Any backlift on it, had to dig it out straight away. Pedro's corner. Madrid struggling to get it clear. Eventually has been looked at. Going all the way back to Thibaut Courtois. He's getting his first pre-season minutes in. You might remember he scored in a penalty shootout against PSG in this competition last season. Courtois, the winning kick, thundered it in. You go straight to penalties if the game's drawn after 90 minutes in the International Champions Cup, but can't see that happening at the moment in this one. Traoré is offside. Yeah,
unlucky as well. I mean, again, another tight call. He's just trying to sneak in round the back. I don't think defensively Real Madrid were in a good position there, and a little bit of luck, he might have just sneaked in behind.
Like in the first half, you'd probably say that Chelsea have had the better of the opening 10 minutes of this one.
Oh, I think so. I think that's to be expected, though. I think, you know, losing 3-0 half-time, and you come out, you like to set the place alight and fire with all guns blazing. At times, for me, we're a little bit deep, but other than that, the understanding of the game is giving a bit of respect to Real Madrid and understand how good they actually are.
There might not be some of the big names, but these are still the European champions. They are a team which is full of goals. They scored 110 in the league last season, which was 47 more than Atletico Madrid, who finished third, and they were only 2 points behind Real.
It's not bad, is it?
He's going to get a lot of goals when you've got the likes of Bale and Ronaldo and your coach is Zinedine Zidane, though, I suppose. Casemiro. Asensio's kept his place for the second half. Well, pre-season games are often played at walking pace, particularly on a hot day like this, but even more so when the result, as much as it matters, is effectively decided by half-time, one would assume anyway. Certainly Madrid don't look particularly motivated. Stretch of the legs from Morata, but he was never likely to catch up to the pass. 3 goals in the European Championships. Wasn't quite prolific for Juventus last season.
On behalf of Heineken USA, we would like to thank Chelsea FC and Real Madrid.
I do like him, Morata, I must admit. Just wonder though whether he's a little bit priced out at the moment. Maybe the price that Real Madrid want for him is too high for a lot of clubs. Well, Chelsea have probably looked at him a little bit as well.
Yeah, lots of prices which will tumble dramatically and rise dramatically as the transfer window nears its closure. Another card coming out here. It looks like it's Casemiro who's picking up this one.
Oh, good footwork from Batshuayi as well. Casemiro lunging in.
That's booking for Madrid. Flag is up again against Traoré. Certainly looked the most likely source of a goal, I think, for Chelsea, Bertrand Traoré.
Yeah, it's like, for me, Bertrand Traoré has taken the position of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Batshuayi is taking his position that he was playing. A little, slightly off the shoulder, slightly a little bit deeper, but also equally trying to get up into that centre-forward position.
Some more changes soon. Eden Hazard was due for his first pre-season run out, and he is amongst those limbering up on the touchline. Nathaniel Chalobah. Immediately looked to arrow it forward toward Traoré. Goalkeeper's absolutely nowhere here. Casilla, can Traoré beat him? Casilla owes Nacho's defender a big pat on the back. What on earth was the goalkeeper thinking there?
That's a great ball by Chinoba, wasn't it, initially? But you're right, Casilla, I don't know what he's doing here. And to be honest, I really think Bertrand Traoré should score here. At least get it towards the goal line. There was another defender maybe coming round, but it was too easy to clear. I think he got to do better. Once you get into that position, you know where the goalkeeper is. You've got to get the ball closer to the goal than it was. But it's a huge mistake, and those mistakes, that's when we need to capitalise.
Marcelo pinging a free kick from left to right, looking for Mariano, scorer of Real's third goal. Marcelo again. Terry's touch was assured. Chalobah. Here's Pedro. Batshuayi, good feet. Keep away from the challenge. Tried once too often. Conceded the sort of free kick which centre forwards do on a regular basis. 22 in all competitions for Marseille last season. Michy Batshuayi scored 2 minutes after coming off the bench for Belgium against Hungary in the Euros as well. It'll be interesting to see what his role is. If it is going to be 4-4-2 or some variant of, you'd expect him to start more often than not, wouldn't you?
Well, I think if there's two positions there, which what we've seen in pre-season so far certainly suggests that that might be the case. Well, there's a position there for him. Well, to be fair to him as well, for me, he's looked very bright in these early stages of the second half. But he needs to sustain that, he needs to keep that going. He can't just do it for the first 10 minutes of the second half. He's got to do it for the full 45.
Marcelo. One slightly fortunate goal, one quite brilliant one. Danilo playing more like a right winger than a right back. Half-time substitute. Only for an hour now in Ann Arbor. The big house, as they call it.
It's a bad challenge, isn't it?
Chalobah was the man who was kicked out the way by Casemiro. He's just been booked.
Yeah, again, probably a little bit fortunate, a bit similar to Pedro in the first half, having been booked already.
Quadrado. Only Batshuayi is a target in there.
Yeah, not such a bad ball, to be honest. Trouble is with Batshuayi in there on his own, difficult to pick him out. And if you're playing 4-4-2, you should have both of them in there, to be honest.
Marcelo. Playing wherever he wants at the moment.
I was going to say, is he running this game?
Probably quite enjoying the fact that with no Ronaldo, the other 10 players don't have to be quite so disciplined about what they're doing as they usually would. Don't know whether Ronaldo's going to be fit to start the season. Benzema picked up an injury in training here the other day as well, so he's on the sidelines. His header hasn't got it clear. Great recovery from John Terry. They're offloading it to Quadrado.
He's got a problem there, Quadrado, as well. He's actually drawn a free kick. He's done well there. He's got 3 players around him and no support. It's difficult for him. Actually winning the free kick did us a favour.
Matic. Pedro. Spilicueta hasn't been able to get forward as often as he would have liked, I don't think. Matic feeding Batshuayi. Nice layoff from him to Pedro. Here's Batshuayi again. Can he make room for the shot? Away from Casemiro. It's Batshuayi. Now, was he pushed over by Nacho or Varane? No, he was just squeezed out, according to the official.
Yeah, and possibly right, but I'll tell you what I like at least he's having a go. He's trying to be positive. You know, he's looking for a bit of space here, isn't he? Just trying to create something so that he can fire goalwards. Just crowded out in the end. I don't think it's a penalty, but I like his attitude. I like the way he's going about his business. He's got a great touch as well, Matt.
Well, this is a sight that every commentary team loves to see in a pre-season game.
I was just going to say, Matt, good luck with this one.
Real Madrid are making substitutions. There are lots of them.
Looks like they're waiting for the bus there.
Well, Casemiro may be unsurprisingly one of those who's giving way. Marcos Llorente, wearing 27, is one who we've seen come on. Marcelo's not going to get his hat-trick, unfortunately for him. All change. It's Ruben Yanez, who is the new goalkeeper, so it's not going to be Luka Zidane, the Suns. Shakes and high-fives all round on the bench. Number 26 there, Martin Odegaard, a name you might be familiar with, the 17-year-old Norwegian who made his international debut at 15 as the youngest player to ever play for Madrid's first team. He's one to keep an eye on.
Substitution for Real Madrid.
Just going to bring on Eden Hazard before too long.
Number 26, Martin Odegaard. Number 27, Marcos Llorente. Number 36, Alex Pevar.
Here's Danilo.
Number 36, Sergio Diaz.
With his left foot, why not? He's the swinger.
Well, of course, every time you get so many substitutions as we do, it can do two different things. Sometimes it just completely upsets the flow and we see a lot of mistakes coming in. But it also adds a buzz. It also adds a little bit of snap to the game. You know, players are more enthusiastic all of a sudden, and they're very, very lively. And I think that's what we're seeing for Real Madrid at the moment. Very, very lively, which is why we're probably on the counter of that. We're going to make some substitutions as well.
Substitution for Chelsea. Entering the match number 2.
Here is Eden Hazard, who's just crept on. He has replaced Pedro. This is Juan Cuadrado. Good footwork. Traore winning the free kick.
That's a good turn again. Do you know what? He's not getting much from the referee, to be honest. I think there could have been a yellow card against Bertrand Traore in this game so far. And again, it's Nacho. He seems to be talking to the referee a lot. He's made 2 or 3 challenges that are more ruthless than anything. They're not nasty or dirty. A little bit ruthless. Can't take the ball, the free kick that quick. Referee's going to bring it back. Good to see Eden Hazard though, back and hopefully back to top form when the season kicks off.
Might get a goal here.
Well, let's hope he's done his stretches right if he's going to take this shot on this early on.
Matic instead, cannoned into the wall and behind.
Well, that's what the wall for. Good, strong, powerful wall, wasn't it?
So pretty much all these Madrid substitutes are youth players who play for the Castilla, the B team. One of them to keep your eye on as well, other than Odegaard, 29, Enzo Zidane. There's Terry's header, but the whistle's already gone. Enzo Zidane, you can guess by the surname who his dad is, and he plays as a number 10 or a striker. Not much to live up to for him.
Decent ball in this one though, isn't it? John Terry just climbing over the back of one of the Real Madrid substitutes, and the judge still fouled him, but makes good contact on the ball, JT.
All 4 of Zinedine Zidane's sons are in the Real Madrid academy to one extent or another. Enzo's actually the captain of the Castilla team. Luka, the goalkeeper, you might have seen chuck one in the semis of the UEFA Youth League against PSG in Lyon last season. And here come Madrid, and they're looking for a 4th, and Terry's made a good challenge.
Decent run as well initially, wasn't it? I think at some stage you've got to pull the trigger, and he had the opportunity. But again, it's John Terry who makes that final challenge. Stops him in his tracks.
It's Alex Faber who had the effort. Real Madrid actually haven't signed anybody so far in the transfer window. They've brought Morata back. Slightly surprising.
Well, it is, but again, with these big clubs, you're just not too sure what they're planning. They can make instant purchases that perhaps you didn't see coming, and I think that's what they're trying to keep things close to their chest. However, wonderful club that it is, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to have difficulty attracting
Not
people,
really,
is it?
no. You know, you say you've got a chance to play for Real Madrid. It's not as if you argue it. And so, where's my plane ticket?
Paul Pogba probably still hoping he'll be playing in white rather than red next season. Well, no change to the half-time scoreline. Often the way, isn't it? And one team scores 3 in the first half, particularly in a game like this. Certainly was the way when Real played PSG in the week. Without wishing to clutch at straws, it does appear as though the shape and the defensive organisation has improved in the 20 minutes of the second half from what it was in the last 20 minutes of the first half, certainly from a Chelsea perspective.
Yeah, and I think players like Nathaniel Chalobah's gone in and done really, really well. I think Batshuayi, as we already mentioned, has made a difference up front. And that's not being disrespectful to Ruben. Ruben didn't look comfortable in that position.
Which is not his position.
It's not his position, and that's not being disrespectful to him. But Batshuayi will play it a different way, and with an understanding as well of where he needs to be at certain times, whereas Ruben's still learning that position. And it has helped a lot, especially when we can hold up the play a little bit better.
So I played it against Odegaard, now for a throw. The benefit for these Real Madrid players who've come on is that it's not like they're trying to impress somebody who knows nothing about them, because of course Zidane was the coach of the Castilla team before he replaced Rafael Benitez, so he knows most, if not all, of these young Madrid players. And I feel that will give them a bit of a leg up in terms of bridging the gap between academy and first team, which is so difficult at any top club. There's Diaz.
Of course, when they come on as well, and they're 3-0 up as well, it gives them huge confidence. But of course, they won't want to. The shot rains in, always going wide. But they won't want to let their fellow players down from their performance in the first half. So, if they can keep it a clean sheet in the second half, they'll be happy with that.
It's just a sensational stadium.
And it'd be nice to give the Chelsea fans something for their travelling to the game and supporting the Blues. You know, that's something that they'd like to see. If we can get a goal, I'm sure that'll give them a huge lift.
Every year the population of Blues in America seems to swell considerably. Played in this country for a while. Can you ever see it getting anywhere near the big 4 sports, or is that always going to be a pipe dream?
Very difficult, but they're going in the right direction.
As is Eden Hazard. That wasn't up to the standard, though.
Yeah, again, with Eden Hazard, you know, we've got to give him a bit of time. Maybe on another day, when he's absolutely flying, he'd have kept going there and maybe dragged 1 or 2 other players out of position. I think he might have gone for goal himself, but decided to pass and didn't get the right pass on target on this occasion. But we need to see him playing a few more games yet.
The return of the players involved in the European Championships dependent on how far they got in it. N'Golo Kante has started training, but he's not quite ready to play a match. He might make his debut against AC Milan. Remember that game, Wednesday US time, Thursday in the UK, Thursday morning. And Werder Bremen a week tomorrow, both live on Chelsea TV. With every minute of pre-season. Llorente. There's Odegaard. Made his Real Madrid debut at 15, just over a year ago against Getafe. Chalobah, good use of the ball again, been very neat and tidy. Quadrado couldn't quite set off on a run though. That's a risky one from Chalobah. Found its way through to Terry. Zinedine Zidane, the 7th man to win the Champions League as a player and a coach. Miguel Munoz did it with Madrid as well. Carlo Ancelotti won it with Madrid and won it as a player. Other names on the list not too bad either. Cruyff, Trapattoni, Rijkaard and Guardiola. Sort of goes against the old theory that you can't be a great player and a great coach, doesn't it?
That just proves that some can. And Zidane is a legend, isn't he, in his own right, and what a player he was.
Aina, is he going to get another 90 minutes under his belt, I wonder? A little more than 15 left of this one. Courtois hasn't made a save, has he, since he came on?
No, he hasn't, no, which is great. You know, I know he'd like to be involved and probably worked so hard in training, waiting for opportunities, but to be fair to Begovic, made some decent saves in the first half. Maybe one that might have done a bit better with, but they like to be worked, goalkeepers, and I think Courtois would like something, but obviously we don't want too many shots raining in on him.
So the game's gone into a bit of a lull because there's a Mexican wave going around the stadium. Here's Hazard, maybe he can liven it up. Quadrado in all sorts of space right side. Ball was late arriving to him. Batshuayi and Traoré in the middle here. Here's Chalobah. Traoré, great turn. Chalobah. Oh, he's already got one in pre-season. He maybe ought to work the goalkeeper at the very least there.
And again, it all starts with Eden Hazard, doesn't it? Well, how many times have we said that in the past? You know, he makes things happen. And I think that's what you want. You want movement from Hazard with pace. It drags players out of position. And eventually comes into this guy, Bertrand Traoré, who I think has had an excellent game. His turn again was superb. He's been fouled so many times deeper in the field. This time inside the box, turns the opposite way. Defenders get lost. And then there's an opportunity for the shot, which wasn't on target, unfortunately. But it was better play again.
Well, one of the stars of pre-season so far, replaced by another. Moses on for Traoré in the latest Chelsea transfer. Hakimi, or Achraf Hakimi, I should say, is waiting to come on for Real Madrid as well down below. I do like the fact that they've made a rule that you can only make 11 changes in this competition. I mean, if you're going to be allowed to make 11, make 25, surely. Here comes Hakimi for Nacho.
Substitution for Real Madrid. Enters the mix number 33, Achraf Hakimi. Exiting number 6, Jose Fernandez.
Chelsea get a goal just to send the blue half of the stadium home. It's something good to remember. Again, just as they were against PSG, Madrid's kids have been impressive so far.
Good at keeping the ball, aren't they? I think that's such an important factor.
Quadrado. Been a buzz about him since he came on at the break. Nice touch there, controlled on the knee. A pretty easy decision for the referee, who was almost part of the foul.
It wasn't a particularly good free foul, was it? I mean, there's the first foul on Quadrado, second one on Eden Hazard. Well, we don't want to see that too often.
He's used to being kicked from pillar to post, but he might feel he deserves a bit of a break from that in pre-season. Hazard.
Yeah, we saw the referee give 3 cards to Chelsea players in the first half. Just Casemiro is one who got one for Real Madrid in the second, and arguably he could have given a couple more at times, some challenges from behind, Nacho being one of them.
That's a poor giveaway, straight to Moses. Batshuayi in support.
Here's a yellow card. That
is Zidane Jr. with the foul.
Good by Victor Moses as well. You know, he picks up a loose ball and he just attacks with pace, and there's nothing that they can do. And so Zidane gets a yellow card for that, and rightly so. You see the pace of Victor Moses just takes him away.
Hedging his bets, isn't he, Zinedine, putting all four of his sons in the academy. There's a fair chance one will turn into a first-team player.
Oh, it's in the first opportunity for Eden Hazard, you feel, to maybe get a reaction safe from the goalkeeper. Let's hope he hits the target.
Hazard can fit one short run at clear. Four-man wall, two Chelsea boys on the end of it. In that kind of day.
Always difficult to get it up and over with pace and be a bit too close. Better, you know, and I think we talked about this just after half-time, that we needed to see some sort of reaction. We'd like to get a goal, great for the fans. You can hear what the Chelsea fans feel about it, and that's what we needed. We needed that lift. We needed to feel better about ourselves. I think you'd have to say from the second half performance, we've done that. Talked about our goalkeeper not having a great deal to do. We've certainly worked their goalkeeper a lot more.
There's Diaz for Madrid, and Danilo. Ante pushing it out wide. Down in field to Odegaard, flipped up toward the back post, defending that time. Good strength from Chalobah as well, he's a big, strong lad. Hazard looked to let it run for Batshuayi, it was a nice idea.
He's a good link-up play as well. Unlucky if that comes off, that would be superb, because he could play Hazard in.
Well, that's going to be a massive benefit, the fact that those two have played international football together for so long. That's going to be huge in Chelsea's favour, surely you would think.
Oh, let's hope so. Something we can look forward to anyway in the coming season. All of a sudden, a lot livelier by Chelsea and looking nice and bright, and all of a sudden it's the Real Madrid players who are making the mistakes, misplacing the passes. Is that because we're a little bit higher up the field, a little bit more confidence in our back four to squeeze the play, make it a lot tighter in midfield, and they're giving the ball away and free kicks as well.
Hazard. There's Chalobah. Looking to beat his man, he's done that as well. Really good play from Cuadrado again, and another ball into that corridor of uncertainty between defence and goalkeeper. Nobody gambling on it.
So it was a lovely little ball, wasn't it, across that 6-yard box. And I don't think he's overplayed this. I think he's put it in with the right amount of pace. He's also shown good skills on the ball, got past his the last defender, got away with it, away from him with pace, and delivered. That's all you can ask.
Probably been his best performance in a Chelsea shirt, this, hasn't it?
I would think so.
Just trying to wrestle it back. Here's Odegaard. And back by Batshuayi. He was tucked.
Well, again, we're seeing Real Madrid, OK, the younger players perhaps are at Real Madrid, but just struggling because we are all over them, where we haven't been for most of the game. All of a sudden, that goal has given us a huge lift. Unfortunately, it's come a little bit late, maybe, to get something out of the game, which make a huge difference. But it's given our lads that bit of confidence. This is what we needed to take into our next pre-season friendly. Wouldn't it be nice if we could put this one in?
Hazard's passed on the responsibility to Batshuayi.
Yeah, but it's good that they all have a go as well. You know, maybe Batshuayi can pop this one in the top corner.
It's so easy from that angle, doesn't it? If we're not happy with a bit of pushing and shoving. Batshuayi couldn't quite get it to bend back in time.
No, I think always going wide. This one wasn't always coming all the way in. It looked like it was never going to make it. Because I'm sure Antonio Conte looks on. He'll probably be saying free kicks back to the training ground.
Talks about wanting to players to use their mind when their legs were tired. Definitely going to be much happier with what he's seen in the second half. Chalobah, nice nutmeg.
That's unlucky. I'm not sure there's a great deal of contact here.
Defender knew he wasn't winning it, didn't he?
Absolutely, and he goes to ground. Whether there was contact or not, I'm not sure.
Rafael Varane. Well, how many times have we spoken about substitutes, once they come on, making an impact in the game and having to do that? And I think you can look at certainly Cuadrado and Nathaniel Chalobah and Batshuayi. They've all done that for Chelsea.
I'd agree with that wholeheartedly. And Eden Hazard as well, to be honest. And probably not up to full speed at the moment, Eden, but we know what he's capable of. And the players who've gone certainly have given us a... And what's been nice as well, we've kept it going. We started brightly and kept it going for, what, 40 minutes now.
All the way by Chalobah. Madrid hoping for a fourth goal just to cap the day for them. Odegaard. I wonder what it is in terms of the development of these young Real Madrid players when they're playing in the third division in Spain. It wasn't the idea. They were in Segunda for a number of years, but were relegated a few seasons back and haven't managed to get back up since. This is Faber. Now Moses. Plenty of options for him here if he looks to his right. He's threaded it through perfectly for Batshuayi, who's onside. Michy Batshuayi. Good challenge coming back on him to make sure that he couldn't get a first Chelsea goal of sorts.
There's his chance. I mean, good play by Chelsea as well to get the ball up to him. He stumbles first there, and again, good block. But you'd have to say that was his opportunity to set his Chelsea career alight for me.
Corner worked short. Referee ready for it to be taken. And Terry going forward for this set piece. It eventually does come in.
I think what was good though from the last build-up was quite a few players got involved, and Nathaniel Chalobah has had a very good second half. It's the start of it, and I think when you like that and they've got that enthusiasm, he's starting to prove a point, Chalobah. You know, this position that we've talked about, this holding position, if you like, in midfield. Well, we know N'Golo Kante's probably going to start, having just purchased him. But there are quite a few others trying to stake a claim for this position alongside him.
Right, take two for Moses. To challenge Matic for the ball and get it clear. There's Cuadrado. One of those midfielders, by the way, John Mikel Obi, is going to the Olympics with Nigeria, so he might fall behind in the race slightly because of that. We shall see. On Hazard, meanwhile. This is Chalobah. Shoot the ball with his left foot. Cuadrado kept it in. Here's Batshuayi. Moses. Stumbled but kept possession. Matic. Too strong. Going to find a cross here, or maybe a shot. Hazard couldn't quite turn. Madrid making a mess of getting rid of it.
Unlucky, isn't it? It's good play. Just waiting for someone to pull the trigger, perhaps, but lots of options for the players on the ball, which is always good.
Odegaard as we go into the final minute of the 90. We've spoken numerous times about the result being pretty insignificant, but there is a difference in terms of the mentality and the effect on the squad of coming out and winning the second half 1-0 as opposed to conceding another 3 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's part of our build-up in the way it was going in the first half. 3 goals down. The last thing you needed was perhaps 4 and 5. And we needed to stop the rot, as it were. Thankfully, the thing has turned around in our favour for the second half. As I said at half-time, you just needed a performance that gave everybody a lift. And I think we can honestly say the squad will be lifted by the second half performance, which takes us to our next game. Now, AC Milan is going to be a big game for me now. More important perhaps to win that, and I know we often say it doesn't matter, but maybe it is, and maybe a huge confidence boost. And then we play Werder Bremen, win that one as well, and then we'll go for West Ham big time.
Minimum of 2 minutes of added time to the second half. 2 minutes.
Pointing out that there are points to be won in Chelsea's opening 4 games, I think, in the Premier League. West Ham's a tricky one, but then Watford, Burnley and Swansea look to get a decent number of points from that ahead of a tough September, October. And the Blues will play Liverpool, Arsenal, Leicester and Man United.
Well, it's always tough when you're not winning games, of course, but he's done well there, Gary Cahill. Yeah, it's tough when you're not winning. There's a chance.
Oh, Hazard, he's onside. He's round the keeper again, and it's 3-2. Almost a carbon copy for Eden Hazard. He's at the double in Michigan.
Oh dear, big mistakes by the goalkeeper again. I think Hazard had almost given it up because he thought the goalkeeper was going to come. The goalkeeper then stops. Well, you can't do that with Eden Hazard. He's too quick, too clever. Good play initially by Gary Cahill, gets away, bulldozes his way through, but it's a simple pass. And there we see the early ball by Batshuayi. It's a great one to Hazard. Oh, it's just left to him again, isn't it? Great finish, tidy, comfortable. All came a little bit too late, perhaps, to get something out of the game. But yeah, the players will be lifted by this, as we said before, and that extra goal will certainly help players like Eden Hazard.
It might be a while before Ruben Yanez plays in Madrid's goal in a competitive match.
Yeah, he's looked completely out of sorts, hasn't he?
Cuadrado, night and day performance from Chelsea, second half to first. Might still be able to salvage something. It's Cuadrado, blasted straight at the keeper. Tell you what, there was an opportunity there.
Well, he's doing a good thing as well. We've got 3 players in the box, and that hasn't happened all match.
That is the end of it. Real Madrid are the victors, but very much a game of 2 halves as far as Chelsea are concerned. They were 3 behind at the break. A quick-fire double from Marcelo. Mariano with a thumper from distance. The 2 goals in the final 10 minutes from Eden Hazard, one of the Chelsea substitutes.